Hey guys, Rhett here, Section 8 guy. Thanks for watching. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe, like this video. We got a lot of cool stuff coming at you. Guys, I want to talk to you today a little bit about finding high income tenants and what that means, not only for Section 8 properties, but for straight cash rentals. I have a lot of people ask me all the time, they say, Rhett, how do I make sure I get the best tenant for my unit? Whether it's a high income unit, okay, a luxury rental, a median income rental, or a low income rental, Section 8. And the answer is the same, okay? The answer is we need to find the best possible tenants by doing the best research we can, all right? Everything I do, guys, if you're a staple on the channel, you understand that everything is about mitigating our risk the best way possible. So how do we do that? We need to make sure that regardless of what kind of rental property we have, we are doing our due diligence to make sure that the tenant we choose best fits what we're looking for. Now, what does that mean? What are we looking for? We should be looking for the same thing every single time, regardless of the property, okay? We should be looking for somebody who qualifies to pay us for our rental, okay? Now, qualifications differ depending on what exactly we're renting, okay? If we're renting a property for $7,000 a month in Los Angeles, we're gonna be looking for a tenant that has a little bit different of a background than if we're renting a Section 8 property in Dayton, Ohio, right? So we're looking for the same thing though, okay? We're looking for the same thing. And let me tell you what I mean by that. The first thing we're gonna do when we look for tenants, whether we're looking high income or low income, we're gonna look for the highest of that range, okay? So if we're doing looking for a high income tenant for our luxury unit, we want the top of that high income bracket, right? Same with Section 8. If we're looking for a tenant for our Section 8 property renting for $800, we still want to find somebody that would be the highest qualified to rent that $800 unit, okay? Now, let's dive in, okay, to the details of this thing. Number one, regardless of what kind of unit we're renting, background checks. Not a question, automatic. We're doing background checks on everybody. If you have a property management company, they'll do it. If you're your own landlord, you need to have software to where you can run background checks, okay? You pay a certain amount of money and you can run background checks, all right? Necessity, that's number one. Number two, credit checks, okay? We wanna know credit scores. We wanna know current credit balances. We wanna know bills that are in collection. We wanna know rental history, eviction history. We wanna know if there are any bankruptcies, foreclosures. We want to know everything that is on a tenant's rental history, okay? The more information we have, the better. Now, if we're looking for high income tenants, we want a full work history. Now, what does that mean? That is a mix between their work history, okay, and their financial history. So we want work history, job history. I want to know where they worked 5 years ago, 4 years ago, 3 years ago, 2 years ago, okay? I want to see that on paper. I also want to see financial history. All right, I want to see W-2s. I want to see 1099s. If you have a tenant that is a W-2 tenant, we need to look as far back as 2 years. I want to see their W-2 earnings for 2 years, guys. All right, so you find a really good tenant. They're a W-2 employee, meaning they're a salaried employee. You receive that. They say, okay, here are my W-2s. I want to see them for at least 2 years. I want to make sure that they've been at that company for at least 2 years and I can see their income over the course of 2 years minimum, all right? If they are a 1099, meaning they're not salaried, they're more of a subcontractor or a contractor, okay? They're a 1099 employee. I want to see at least 3 years, okay? 4 ideally, but that'll give us a better sense of what kind of income they've been able to generate year after year after year. Okay, 1099, I want to see more. W-2, I want to see less because that W-2 income is not guaranteed, but we know they know what they're going to make this year. Okay, it's easy to budget when you know what you're going to make. versus a 1099 employee where you don't really know what you're going to make. You could make X, you could make Y, okay? Now, finding the right tenant is also more about some of the other things we talked about. It's not totally dependent on income, right? So for example, I'm going to tell you why. If we run a background check, we run a background history, all right? We have one tenant that makes $10,000 a month. For our high luxury rental, we have another tenant that makes $8,000 a month. The rent for our unit is $5,000 a month, okay? $10,000 a month, $8,000 a month. Our unit's $5,000 a month. One tenant had an eviction 8 years ago, has been arrested twice, and but has a great job. Okay, another tenant just got out of college, has perfect credit, and makes $8,000 a month. Which person are you going to choose? Of course, you're going to choose the person that just got out of college, making $8,000 a month, has perfect credit, and has nothing on their background check, no criminal history. Some people would say, obviously, but you'd be surprised at how many people would say, well, this person makes more money, even though they have an eviction on their record, but it was a long time ago. Listen, if you do a deep dive into your tenant's history, it's going to help you choose the best tenant that fits what you're looking for, okay? Now, it's a lot of work if you're a landlord, right? Because if you have a really good unit, you're probably going to have 20, 30, 40 applicants for a unit, okay? Especially if it's an area of high demand. Property management companies can kind of wade through all the bad tenants, okay, all the bad applicants, and narrow that down. I implore you to tell your management company, when they narrow it down to 2 or 3 tenants, you want to see who they are choosing between. You want final say, okay? Not the management company. You. It's your money. If the management company places a tenant in your unit and they never pay, or they pay a couple times, guess what? You're the one that's hurting for that. A lot of management companies take a percentage or a piece of the first payment every month, okay? Or the first payment total, right? So usually there's an onboarding fee or a placement fee, 50% of the rent, or a flat fee based on the unit price, okay? So the management company is getting paid before you are, all right? And then every single month, they're taking 8%, 10%, whatever they take. So they're always gonna find a way to make money, right? If your tenant isn't paying, for example, say they don't pay the first month, they don't pay it the second month, right? They pay the third month. The management company is taking their 10% of that third month, right? But you've missed 2 months of rent. So in your mind, you should say, oh, I should get all of that. But you don't. The management company is going to get paid regardless. So they don't have any skin in the game. You guys do. Be an active participant in choosing your tenant, okay? Be an active participant, have a say. That way, if the tenant isn't good, at least you did everything you could to try and mitigate the risk as best you could, okay? Have a say, have a say. If you are involved and you are looking over, I'm not saying look over all 40, make the management company narrow it down, and as long as you have final say, it allows you to choose the tenant that best fits your unit, okay? Go after the tenants that are higher income, go after the tenants with better background checks, go after the tenants with better financial histories, okay? Choose wisely, do your due diligence, be a good landlord, be a good investor. All right, guys? Thanks for watching. Look forward to seeing you on the next video. We'll see you next time.